Hello and welcome back to my Dandelion Diaries. It is time to talk about all of the pens that I will have inked up for the month of October. So let's just jump straight into this. So starting off with my first pen here, this is a TWISBI Eco in the glow purple colorway with an extra fine nib, and it is inked with Robert Oster Summer Storm. I have determined that the TWISBI extra fine nib is one of my favorites in terms of journaling and just writing in general. I feel like I can write perfectly well in the small grid space that I like to write in, and then also it showcases the ink fairly well in terms of color. It doesn't always show the shading, but I feel like it is a really nice writer in terms of, just journal pages, and it's a comfortable pen for me to hold, and they're relatively inexpensive, which is always a plus. The next pen I have here is my Pilot Metropolitan in the Leopard purple, and it is inked with Colorverse 𝗦𝘃𝗫 by Starlight, which is a Goulet Pens exclusive, and we're going to see if this one actually decides to write today. So I've been having a lot of problems with this pen in general, and I wanted to test it out with another glitter ink because I think possibly the last ink that I had in it damaged the either feed or something. So with the shimmer ink, I want to see if it actually is damaged, because obviously if there's something clogging it, the shimmer won't be able to come out, or the ink. And I think something is wrong with it. So we'll see how long this pen lasts in my setup for October. I'm really bummed because this color is really cool. It's like this dark, like black bluish purple color with some silver shimmer. It's really pretty. But we'll see if I can even use this pen this month, because I'm already having problems and it's like day one, so we'll see. The next pen I have here is my Pilot Kakuno in the clear Demonstrator, and it is inked with a cartridge in the Pilot Brown. So I just stuck one of the Pilot Brown cartridges that I have in it because it was easier than trying to fill it up with a syringe, if I'm being honest. The Pilot Kakuno that I have here is probably one of my favorite starter pens, which a lot of the pens I will be using this month are starter pen friendly. And pairing it with the Pilot Brown, which is kind of like a reddish brown, is hopefully going to match the theme that I'm going for with this month. We'll see. It might be a little too red for what I'm going for, but it might be okay in the end. The next pen I have inked up for October is my Pilot Prera in the Vivid Pink, and this has a medium nib and is inked with Dominant Industries Earl Grey Tea. And being that this is the month of October, I wanted to make sure I had an orange inked up, because I feel like October is just meant to have orange in its colors. Dominant Industries Earl Grey Tea is a very nice medium orange. It does have some good shading to it that's a little bit more red orange, and I really wanted to put it in my bright pink pen because I feel like it's just a bright color. It needs to be in a bright pen sometimes. Plus, a lot of the pens that I'm using this month are colors that I don't typically use, so I only have a few pens that are not green and brown, so that's what I'm using this month, is mainly the colors that I don't typically go for. The next pen I have inked up for October is my Platinum Preppy, and I have this inked with Platinum Citrus Black actually, and this is in a medium nib. And this is probably one of my favorite yellow inks, if not my favorite yellow ink, because of the color shift. You can probably see as I'm writing, it starts off as this kind of like bright yellow, and then it darkens to this almost muddy yellow color. I really enjoy it quite a lot. I do think that the lightness of it being that it's yellow may cause problems for me down the line, but all the times I've written with this citrus black color, I've never had problems reading it. And I don't think I'm going to have that problem this month, just because I did put it in a medium pen. I think if you put a yellow ink in something like a fine or an extra fine, you're always going to have trouble reading it, but that is just my opinion. The next pen I have here is my Lamy Safari in Cream, and I changed the nib out on this, so it is a 1.5 stub. And I have it inked with Diamine's Yule Log. And if you watched my brown ink exploration, you will know how much I love this color. It is this medium brown with this rose gold coppery shimmer. It is so beautiful. And I was really excited to be able to put it in the Stub 1.5 just to see all of the beauty of this ink. and I'm really excited to write with this one for October. I may not be able to journal much with it because it is a Stub 1.5, which is pretty big, but it's going to be really nice for making headers and other things in my planners and journals, and yeah, I'm really excited for that. And the last pen I have inked is my Kaweco Sport in Smooth Sage, and this has Ferris Wheel Press Twinkling Tea Party in it, which is another one of my favorite inks. And I have a broad nib in this Kaweco today. So this ink is one of my favorites because it is a dark green and it has shimmer and it has sheen. It is just an all-around really fun ink to write with, and I wanted to be sure to put it in a broader pen so we could showcase all of those fun colors together, and I think this is probably one of the most perfect pairings of this group. I love this Kaweco broad, and yeah, I can't get enough of it. I will say that this ink may be a little too dark for what I was going for in terms of color scheme, but it is autumn and dark greens are one of my favorite things for autumn, so I think we'll be fine in the end, but yeah, that's where I'm at for now with this one. So the color scheme that I was going for this month was mainly to include all of the good autumn colors between like kind of a reddish brown, soft brown, yellow, orange, dark greens, and purples. I feel like those are usually the colors I think of when it comes to autumn and fall. And also when it comes to Halloween, obviously I didn't include black because I do write with black gel pens sometimes, and I have other black markers that I use, so I didn't really want to have a pen inked with black. I wanted mainly colors this month. But the theme that I was going for is a spooky tea party. So we have Earl Grey tea in there, we have citrus black, which could be like a citrus black tea, we have our twinkling tea party, and then I have my pilot brown, which could just be like the color of tea is usually brown, and then Yule log is something that you burn during Christmas, so I know it's not really fall related, but you can still burn a Yule log other times of the year and maybe boil water on it to make tea, right? I also have the two purples in there between Cellar Storm and Summer Storm, and then Witch by Starlight. Both of those could be like, it's a stormy night and you're brewing a cup of tea with the witches and it's spooky. I don't know, I was just feeling a spooky tea party as my name for this month. Again, I'm not sure what's going to happen with my Colorverse Witch by Starlight in that pen because I think that pen may be at the end of its life, unfortunately. I have had it for a while, so we'll see what happens there. But yeah, that's the theme that I was going for, and hopefully all the colors will encompass what I wanted to show for autumn in October. Alrighty, so that is it for all of the pens that I will have inked up in October. Like I said, did a lot of my starter pens, so I'm just going to quickly go over kind of like retail of these really quick. So usually TWISBIs will retail for a little under $30. Same with Pilot Metropolitans. The Kakunos are about $12 to $15, sometimes less if you can get them on sale. The Pilot Prera is again around $30, maybe a little bit more. The Platinum Preppy is like $5. The Lamy Safari is about $30, and then the Kaweco Sports are also about $30. So these are a lot of the starter pens. I personally started out with the Pilot Metropolitan. It actually might have been this specific one, which might be why it's misbehaving because it's that old. Anyways, if this doesn't work out, I'm going to clean it. But I started with a Pilot Metropolitan and a TWISBI Eco as my first two pens, so I highly recommend these two as starter pens, but anything on my set today is worthy of being a starter pen in my opinion. Starting with the Platinum Preppy is honestly the cheapest option, and they're fabulous writers. I know people sometimes even use them as throwaway pens where they just finish the ink and then buy a new one because they're that cheap. Anyways, that is all I have for this. Let me know what you think of my naming, A Spooky Tea Party. I think it's perfect for October if I don't say so myself. But yeah, if you have any questions about anything I used today, I will try to leave links to stuff in the description. But for now, I think that's it. I hope you have a spooky one, and I will see you in the next one.